Happy Thanksgiving Day weekend from Manhattan, Kansas. The Bradley Braves begin what they hope will be a joyful basketball season as they open the regular season against the Kansas State Wildcats. Hello and welcome to Bradley basketball here on WEEK. Lee Hall along with former Bradley great Roger Fegley. Our eight been together beginning today, and Roger went out to the mall. They kind of have an idea of what Bradley's going to try and do on offense this season. That's be a little more pushy.
I think you're right. They're really concentrating this year on getting the ball off the board, out and down the floor, trying to create easy baskets. And we've talked about it for years. Anytime you can get an easy one, it sure takes a lot of pressure off your set offense.
You're probably tired of turkey by now. And there's not a lot of leftovers for Kansas State. 6 new cats in uniform today, and their experience level goes down even more after an injury yesterday to their top returning scorer, Elliot Hatcher, who separated a shoulder. He's out 3 to 4 weeks.
Well, certainly when you lose your point guard, especially with an inexperienced team, it really creates a lot of problems. But one thing the Cats do have, Lee, is an abundance of good inside people. Look for them to try and establish a quick, early inside game.
Good time of year to do a little comparison shopping. Both teams played Pella Windows in the preseason. Kansas State won by 6. Bradley won by 20. But this is the one that counts, and we will have the starting lineups for Kansas State and Bradley when we return to Manhattan, Kansas in just a minute.
If you have what's overall the most powerful line of truck engines on the planet, if you have better resale value than Ford, Chevy, or GMC, if you have what it takes to get
Noah Kinkley at center, Billy Wright, Anthony Parker at the guards. For Kansas State, it is a young lineup led by sophomore Mark Young, Tyrone Davis, the senior, at the other forward, Gerald Eaker at center, Paco May, a redshirt freshman, and Aaron Schwartzendruber at guard. We'll be back with the tip-off from Manhattan, Kansas in 1 minute. Jim Molinari, the player. I know it's been a while.
Well, Jim was a very good player for us. He was one of those kids that was an intellectual type player. He thought the game very well. He liked the game to be played properly, and I'm not at all surprised that he's turned into a very good coach.
He's kind of a defensive-minded coach, but I heard as a player he liked to put the ball up a little bit.
Well,
now his former student is the teacher of the Bradley Braves, Jim Molinari, 61 and 57 in his 5th season at Bradley. It tips off right here. It's Gerald Eaker against Adebayo Akinkunle. And the 95-96 season is underway for the Braves. Kansas State wins the tap. This is Schwartzendruber as the Braves begin in their man-to-man. Work it inside to Eaker. Now kick back out to Schwartzendruber. Good three-point shooter, Schwartzendruber.
Schwartzendruber is one of the guys that Bradley has to be aware of. Stay up on him. He's a good shooter. A true point guard gets a lot of playing time today with the absence of Elliot Hatcher.
Just a sophomore. He gives Kansas State the 3-0 lead. Kansas State opening in the man-to-man as well. Anthony Parker, 9th in the league in scoring a year ago. Now to Billy Wright. Shot clock at 13 for Dwayne Funches, who finds the bottom of the net from the baseline.
Well, Funches taken that shot a lot over the years. He's gotten a little better at it each year, and this year shooting it with all the confidence in the world. Didn't hesitate at all. Caught that ball, found himself open.
Here's Davis inside. Junior make that a senior for Kansas State. We've played a minute. It's 3-2 Kansas State.
Well, Bradley knew that Kansas State would try and push the ball inside. Bile takes a shot there, probably an ill-advised shot, but great inside defensive help by Bradley that last time.
Eaker gives inside now to Davis, who's tripled, now double-teamed, gets loose, up, in, count it, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play. Tyrone Davis.
And the foul went to Bile that time. And if you notice what happened there, the first time when they collapsed inside, they all came in and established themselves and really played strong. Here, Bile comes in almost. Doesn't move his feet, reaches in with the arm, and gets the arm of Tyrone Davis and sends him to the line.
Tyrone Davis, 11.5 points a game, 6 rebounds a game for the Cats last year as they finished 12 and 15. He converts the three-point play, and it's 6-2. Bradley down by 4 as they face the full court pressure, and Schwartzendruber is whistled for the foul.
And full court pressure trying to steal the ball. They're not letting Bradley get the inbounds pass.
Billy almost stepped stopped on the end line as he received the inbounds pass. Kansas State looking to force the issue a little bit with the press, but Bradley handles it well. Deion Jackson, the senior, with it now.
That shows you the experience of the Bradley team now, breaking that pressure early and looking to take the ball right to the basket.
Anthony's shot was partially blocked. Here comes K-State the other way. This is Paco May. No good, but Eaker's there for the rebound. Schwartzendruber, not bashful. He's 2 for 2.
You know, he started 9 games as a freshman, but went into a shooting slump and never really came out of it for the rest of the year. But this year, he really seems to have confidence in the jump shot again.
Parker for 3. Jackson got a hand on the rebound. It'll be K-State ball, so the Braves a little trouble getting the ball in the hole here in the first couple of minutes. 8-2, Bradley trails by 6.
And Bradley just doesn't appear to have the confidence early in this game here that they've had in the exhibition season. Obviously, the competition's gotten considerably better, but Bradley not moving offensively and getting the good cuts and the good looks at the basket like they did early.
6'8" Davis against 6'5" Funches, and Davis gets the better of it that time. He'll go to the line. He had 10.6 rebounds in the Kansas State win over Pella Windows.
Well, if you look right here, Funch has no chance to try and block that shot. He reaches right across the arms. Again, Bradley's had 2 fouls called inside, and if you notice, it's the defensive footwork that's got him in poor position and almost forced him to foul.
Davis, a co-captain for Tom Asbury. Shoots 2 and hits the first. He's got 4. Sparse crowd on hand here today in Manhattan. It's a beautiful day outside. Folks probably out enjoying the weather as Kansas State enjoys a 10-2 lead with the pressure. Defensive intensity by Kansas State and a block by Davis.
That's great defensive play there.
Don't waste a lot of time getting down the floor either. Nice pass, but it's out of bounds. May behind the back, but it went out.
You know, Tyrone Davis is probably thrilled to get a chance to guard somebody his size. A year ago, without Gerald Eaker on the ball club, he was forced to play center and battled a lot of 7-footers last year inside.
Like big country Bryant Reeves, he's now back at the strong forward, or the 4 position as they call it. Now a whistle inside goes against Schwartzendruber. That's his second.
That was really good recognition by Bradley there. They saw Deion matched up against Mark Young inside, a disadvantage that Kansas State doesn't want to see, and Bradley recognized it quickly. Got the ball to Deion. He was fouled.
Chad Klein replaces Bio Akinkale in the lineup. They go inside to Funches. High for the jumper, and Funch is 2 for 2 from the field and has all of Bradley's 4 points.
That's exactly the play they worked on yesterday in practice, working on getting the ball inside, turning and facing, and seeing what was available.
Funch looked like he was going to jump out of the gym on that jumper. He really got high for that. Davis works the ball around the perimeter for Kansas State. They were a perimeter team a year ago. They try and go a little bit more inside. Although Eaker missed the jumper from inside the key.
Well, if you got a guy 6'11" and you're playing defense on him, that's the shot you'd like to get him to take. That shot from the elbow is not a good shot for him. No defensive or no offensive rebounding under the basket. Bradley missing an opportunity there not to come up with a rebound.
That's why Chad Klein's in the lineup, to put a little D and a little body on Gerald Eaker.
Certainly the body is the key here. Chad with the size to stay with Eaker, who goes 6'10" and 240 pounds.
Braves try to get in a flow offensively.
That's good play.
Anthony Parker high, but no good. He's had a couple rattle out on him. Mark Young now works out top. Chad Klein adding a little bit defensively for the Braves. There's no open lanes to the basket now. A lot better help as Schwartzendruber goes up high. Anthony Parker gets a piece of it, and the Braves bring it the other way. Good defense that trip down for Bradley.
They go to that 1-4 when they get in trouble and just let the point guard create. Schwartzendruber certainly doesn't have the size to shoot over Anthony Parker.
Funch really doesn't have the size to go over Davis either, so he does the dipsy-do and underneath.
Going underneath.
He'll go to the line.
And going underneath like that shows good body control. And what it does, it lets the rim be an asset to the offensive player, and the defense can't get over there to block that shot. And with the collision with the bodies creates a foul that sends Funches to the line. Right now, Funches been Bradley's only offensive threat at all, inside or outside.
Johnny Williams checks in for Kansas State. He's 6'9", 240. He replaces Eaker, and Schwarzenegger gets a blow as well. Funch misses the first. Anton Hubert, another JUCO transfer, in for Tom Asbury's Wildcats. Funch no good at the line on the first one. A miss and a make, and we'll take a timeout. 10-5, Bradley trails here in the early going at Kansas State.
Only 3 days remain to get
player of the game. See the new Dodge at your friendly Dodge dealer. And that's something they weren't getting with Bio, I think, defensively there in the early going, Roger. He would come over and help, but then would leave, and then the help would be gone. Chad knows maybe more how long to stay in the help and to double team.
Well, and that's the experience. Bio's been around a couple of years, but didn't get a lot of playing time last year, and he's still improving as a player. And certainly one of the things he'll need to improve on is his defense inside.
It's going to be a tough defensive job inside for Chad Klein, but he's forced 2 turnovers in a row now on the Kansas State big men by putting a body on him.
You know, what Chad's been able to do is hold his space in there. Williams trying to get around him with the ball fakes and the shoulder fakes. Shifted the feet that time trying to get around Chad, who really held good defensive position.
Williams and Eaker, a couple of JUCO transfers who played their high school ball in the Chicago area. Here's Anthony, and he turns it over. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Here comes Young at the other end, no good.
A nice rebound by Dion.
Cats have cooled off a little offensively as well. Dion takes it in, puts it up, and good. Dion's first 2 of the season.
That's what we talked about. Bradley looking to push the ball. That's certainly not a fast break, but what you might call a secondary break. You know, the rule I would give a player, if you're bringing the ball up the court, you bring it as far as you can until somebody stops you. That time, Dion able to get a nice 6-8 foot shot off before the Cats adjusted defensively.
Dion using it with athleticism that time down the floor. The miss by Davis, picked up by Anthony Parker, Bradley's top returning scorer and rebounder from a year ago. He'll put up the 3, missed his first one, misses his second from out beyond the arc. 0 for 2 out there. 10-7, Bradley within 3. They trailed 10-2 a little bit ago. And now Kansas State works it against the Bradley man-to-man. Young will try another long-distance shot. No good. This team last in shooting in the Big 8 a year ago. They were Wildcats, all right. Young with the foul that time down on Anthony Parker, who's getting hammered. He's put on a little weight and looks good. He's got some tone to him, but he's getting bounced around here in the early go.
We can see here he makes up his mind early. He's going to the hole. The hole fills up quickly, but he was able to get the ball up and create that foul. And again, that's the secondary break that Bradley's looking to get this year that they haven't done too much of in the past.
Pushy. They're pushing it up a little bit.
There's 2 matchups here I'd really like to see Bradley take advantage of. One of them is with AP being guarded by Young. I just don't think, you know, every time Anthony's made some type of fake at all, or May is guarding AP, and he's really going for the fakes. And Deion Jackson should have a field day down low with Mark Young guarding him. I just don't think he's got the size or the ability to handle Deion down low.
Anthony Parker, 6'5" junior from Naperville, scored 17 points to lead Bradley in their win over Pella Windows. 76% free thrower a year ago, hits them both, and Bradley's back within 1. Ben Coupette into the lineup.
We're starting to see early.
Aaron Zobrist for Bradley.
We're starting to see early that Jim has a lot of different combinations he can go with. Taking AP out and bringing in Aaron Zobrist certainly gives Bradley a different look out front, but it sure gives him also an additional threat to score from the outside.
Chad Klein hit the floor hard. He's back up. Whistle inside will go against Ben Coupette. That'll be his first and the 3rd team foul on the Braves.
Take a look at this inside. You just get a true idea of how size is an advantage in basketball. Not a real good look at it there, but Johnny Williams, just a tower of strength underneath, just took Ben Coupette and flicked him away like he was just a high school kid.
Johnny Williams has 30 pounds on Ben Coupette, so that will be tough for Ben. He's going to have to use his quickness and move his feet inside. 10-9, 13:35 to go here in the first half of play, and Deion Jackson gets his hands on another pass. White the ball.
You know, if you can isolate down low at home and watch Johnny Williams 53 for Kansas State and Ben Coupette guarding, you see Williams just has to stand there, and Coupette really has to use a lot of body motion to try and push him out of the way.
Tyrone Davis, the nice move on the inside. He has 7, and that ends a 7-0 run by Bradley.
Well, if Tyrone Davis and Johnny Williams and Gerald Eaker get that type of position down low, and they're able to get the ball to him down there, Bradley's going to have a tough time defending him down there, and that's a great move by Ben Coupette.
The running hook shot by Big 00, his first 2 of the day.
You know, and that's the big guy with the mobility that both Bio and Ben add to the Bradley lineup that they have not had in the past.
Coupette playing some pretty good defense there against Williams.
Look at Williams set up that inside position, though.
6'9", 240. He's a lot of man inside. Short. Williams there for the rebound. Misses the bunny. And now Kansas State comes up with it, a new 35. They kick it cross court now inside to Dyes into the lineup from Wichita. Tipped. Kansas State on the boards offensively. Davis again. Now Billy Wright comes out of there with it. Bradley dodges a bullet as Kansas State had at least 4 tries that time. Chad Klein for 3. In and out.
And the Braves gave up a lot of strength that time at the other end, but they did not give up any with heart, and just staying after it. Bradley was able to come up with that rebound.
Gary Burrell will check in for Bradley. Deion Jackson will take a seat. Deion with 2 points. Anthony Parker with 2. Dwayne Funches has been the offensive man for Bradley with 5. 12-9. I think that 12-11. Williams to follow.
Well, that play was created by the drive on the left side. Aaron Zobrist didn't get to the baseline to block that baseline off, and it created an easy basket underneath.
Coupette quickly picks up his second foul. 4th team foul on Bradley, 4 on the Cats, who lead the Braves by 3.
It's a very exciting time for our team right now as we prepare for 2 national powers in Kansas State and Villanova. And as I've talked to the people at Bell, the Olds Cadillac GMC truck.
Bradley MVP. AP's best game scoring was 29 against Pac-10 foe Oregon State. Anthony, a 20-year-old award-winning chemistry major.
Inside strength of Kansas State starting to show up in the rebounding. 7-2 advantage. Neither team shooting that well. Kansas State just 31%, but they did start off 3 of 6, so 5 of 16 now. They're getting a lot of shots, and they're getting a lot of good shots. They just haven't been able to get those to go down. Bradley 4 of 11 now, 36%.
Lineup for Bradley, Billy Wright, Aaron Zobrist, now James Baptist into the lineup. Kerry Burrell and Chad Klein. 3-guard offense here for the Braves, and it'll be Bradley's ball. Bradley going with the shorter guys and the quickness, and they're being out rebounded 13-5.
One of the things they've got to do with this lineup is they've got to get Aaron Zobrist the ball so he can shoot. They've got to get Chad Klein stepping out so he can shoot.
And they bring out the big guys out to the top of the... Aaron Zobrist from way downtown. Shot that one from Lawrence, Kansas. Really playing the double high post offensively that time, getting Eakers, Davis, and Dyes away from the basket. Dyes drives, and now Kansas State turns it over. So we're seeing a little bit of that chemistry we were talking about. This team hasn't played together very much.
And Dyes is going to be a great player. They love him down here. And at 6'8", he played the interior part of the game as a high school player. Now as a freshman, they've asked him to move out on the floor, and you see that inexperience the first time he touches the ball, trying to drive and pass. He's just not accustomed to doing that.
James Baptist getting some quality playing time here in the early going. Chad Klein, the running hook. Running one-hander, rather, is no good. 14-11. Bradley down by 3. They trail by as many as 8. Here's Gavin into the lineup now, guarded by Zobrist as Kansas State works it. Williams tries to drive the lane, dribbles it off his shin, and another turnover for Kansas State. They've been a little sloppy. Billy Wright fouled. The foul will go against number 4, Anton Hubert.
First personal team foul.
His first 15 foul on the Cats. Jim Molinari said he would substitute early and often, and he's done that. Anthony Parker now checks in for Billy Wright. We've seen several Braves play here.
And this is the first time we've really seen a 3-guard offense with AP, Terry Burrell, and Aaron Zobrist.
Zobrist, the junior for Metamora. It's hard to believe some of these guys are juniors and seniors already. The time sure has flown for them. Inside, Baptist can't handle it, but tips it out to Kerry Burrell. Now the Braves will reload. Zobrist open for 3. And the Braves can't find the mark from outside. In there now for Kansas State, Sean Rhodes.
Sean Rhodes, another freshman that Kansas State people are very high on. They like his shooting ability. You saw there, no hesitation, just catch, turn, and shoot.
Freshman, another freshman from Wichita. AP to the hole. And Anthony can't get anything to go down. He's got 2 free throws, and that's it. Gavin for 3.
Well, right now, the inside defense for Kansas State, very, very strong. Bradley really having a tough time cracking that lane to get a good shot inside.
Number 4, hold.
James Baptist will be whistled for the hold, I think. Did he say 4 or 4-4? No, it's 4.
We got Anton Hubert trying to guard James Baptist. Bradley not recognizing the fact they had about a 2-foot height advantage down low.
Funches and Jackson check in. Burrell and Klein take a seat.
On the replay, you saw James had a nice screen. Forces Kansas State into the switch, and that leaves Hubert to try and guard James Baptist.
9:08 to play first half. Bradley down 5. Anthony Parker's having a tough time finding a gap. Braves picked by many to win the Missouri Valley Conference. The Cats picked 7th in the Big 8. Deion Jackson steps inside the 3-point line and can't hit. Baptist there for the follow, can't go. Bunch goes up strong, won't go in, but he'll go to the line.
Boy, I tell you, the Braves really worked hard that time.
Look at Funches. He's
Good
cut.
effort.
He is cut. These guys have really worked hard in the offseason. Tom Boyd, the new strength and conditioning coach for the Braves, has gotten quite a few accolades from Jim Molinari and his staff on increasing the Braves' strength and stamina on the floor.
When Funch almost got that ball in, too, after drawing that foul.
Funches improved his free throw shooting. He was up around 65% at the end of last year. He's now 2 for 3 from the line. Funches, a senior out of Chicago Orr. 7 points, 4 rebounds a game last season for Bradley. He's up around the 230 mark. And looks like a bodybuilder. Funches makes them both. He's got 7 to lead Bradley. Bradley's back within 3. Akinkale back in for James Baptist. Schwartzendruber is in now for Kansas State. Bradley leads this series all-time 2-0. The last meeting in 1974. Jim Molinari rode the pine for Kansas State in that ball game. Eaker. Follow-away jumper for the big fella, his first basket of the afternoon.
A pretty good job defensively by Bradley there. They came down, immediately went to the double team, forced Eaker to shoot a fadeaway, and that's about all you can hope for from a guy that big.
Parker's pass tipped by Schwartzendruber, hustles after it, and now picked up by Gavin at the other end. Schwartzendruber, now Gavin, and he's fouled by Anthony Parker on the baseline. First on AP. And that gets the people who have ventured inside here fired up. Look at this hustle.
That's a great play there to keep it in bounds.
5 team fouls now on Bradley. Bradley will shoot the bonus on the next Cats foul. Dies. Tries to give it inside. Now Bradley comes up with it. Here come the Braves the other way. No advantage. So looks for the 3. Now gives to Funches. Oh, that was a nice pass. Funch just couldn't get it. Funch says, my bad. It was a good look by Aaron Zovers.
Funch had good inside position that time.
He did.
If the pass is completed, he wheels and probably has a dunk.
And there's the 3 by Paco May, red shirt, 21-13.
That was a smooth-looking jumper.
That matches the biggest lead of the afternoon for Kansas State. Jackson in the lane, missed just about everything, but Aaron Zovers chases it down. Funch. Hey, how about here? Dwayne Funches with 9. He's come out here and found his rhythm, found his stroke. Yes, indeed, Dwayne Funches scoring in bunches. He has 9.
He's been the only consistent scoring threat Bradley's had thus far.
May walk, another turnover for Kansas State. Billy Wright will check back in. He replaces Aaron Zovers. And it's Mark Young into the Kansas State lineup. 6:56 to play first half. It's Kansas State up 21-15. Down 6 with 6:56 to play in the first half. Watch later in the game. We'll be calling the Amana one hot play of the game. The play that will help the Braves in today's ball game, brought to you by your trusted local Amana heating and cooling dealer, including solar heating and cooling. And both teams kind of cool, especially Bradley from the field.
Just 5 of 20. They just can't get the ball to go in. But I think one of the things that's really happening here is Bradley has taken very few shots without a hand in their face or a body close to him. Kansas State right now getting much easier shots than Bradley.
The defensive intensity has been good for Tom Asbury's Wildcats. Asbury in his second year here at Kansas State. 12-15 a year ago, looking to improve on that with some much bigger ball players this season, as Roger mentioned earlier.
They were pretty much known as an outside team last year. And he found out early that if you're going to compete in the Big 8, you better be as big as everybody. And with those 6 new players you alluded to earlier, 4 of those 6'8" or taller.
Gerald Eaker handed Bayo Akinkole his shot right back, and he walked. 21-15, 6.5 minutes to play first half. Rhodes the air ball, picked up by May, now controlled by Billy Wright.
Bradley needs to get some scoring here from Anthony Parker and Deion Jackson.
They really haven't been able to get a flow going offensively, really. A Akinkole turnaround jumper, no good. Eaker didn't get a piece of that one, but he had just made Bayo adjust his shot. Bradley's shooting percentage continues to go down. 6 minutes left first half. Young with it, he walked. Cats doing a good job of working it. Tipped out of bounds by Anthony Parker. 5 junior college players on this Kansas State ball club. Former Peoria Richwood star Jeff Wires, one of the junior college players who have played here at Kansas State over the years. Is that Deion Jackson with a hand on that one? Anthony had the 3. He's fouled. Kansas State fans wanted a bit of a push, but the foul will go against May. That's his first. And the 8th team foul on the Cats is 5:37 to go first half. Tyrone Davis back into the lineup, as is Johnny Williams. They replace Rhodes and Eaker.
And they lose a couple inches in size, but they pick up about 30 pounds in weight. Look to see Chad Klein pretty quickly now to try and hold out some of that Kansas State size.
Anthony Parker with his 3rd point from the line today, and that's the only scoring he's had. Coming into today's ball game, Anthony Parker only needed 231 points to reach